Welcome to Coffee and Courage. I'm Amber.
And I'm Parker.
This is Koa. We're coming to you from Salt Lake City today at the Ronald McDonald House. Koa's got several appointments.
Over the next week.
Over the next week. And we wanted to kind of, I know we're in the midst of recording and sharing ways to navigate insurance systems. And this kind of falls in line with that.
A little bit.
Although it's a charity, if your child is on Medicaid, then oftentimes they can bill out to Medicaid to help them keep running the facility.
Yeah, sometimes the McDonald House will be able to bill for Medicaid. You won't necessarily know that they've done it, but it just depends on your child and the eligibility.
Yeah, and that may vary from state to state, but I will tell you that this has been a savior for our family. We essentially lived here at the McDonald House.
We stayed in the McDonald House for 6 months before moving over to a long-term care clinic. But the entire time he was in the NICU, SICU, and PICU, we stayed here in a room a little bit different than this one, what we're in now. The McDonald House here at Salt Lake City has some long-term rooms, and then they have like the regular rooms.
Yeah, and we're in a regular room right now, just because we're only here for a couple days. But it was so helpful because it's only, a 10-minute drive up the hill to get to Primary Children's Hospital. We did stay bedside with Koa often while he was in the NICU, so we were super thankful for that. But the way that you can get into a Ronald McDonald House, or you can try to, is prenatally. So if you're pregnant and you know you're about to have a kiddo with some complications, because they're the identified patient that will get you into the Ronald McDonald House. You want to talk with your team where you're going to deliver, have the social worker send over a referral, and it's never a guarantee, so you don't know if you're going to get into the room or not sometimes until that day that you get there. We lucked out when I was pregnant, and we moved up here to Salt Lake at 36 weeks, right? Yeah. 36 weeks, and we lucked out and we got a place, and it was so helpful just not having to worry about any bills or paying rent here, and being so close to the hospital to be able to just come here to eat and then go back up to, take naps here if we needed to.
Yeah. Long story short, the best way to do it, whether or not you're going to be here or at a hospital overnight or, over a whole season, the process doesn't really change. You have your doctor that you have your appointments with, contact the social worker, and then the social worker from the hospital sends a referral to the local McDonald House, and then the McDonald House will contact you and confirm the length of stay that you need. And then once you get closer to the stay, like Amber said, sometimes up until the day of, it just depends on how busy they are, if they have accommodations or not. And often, if they don't have one that night, they may have one later on that week. It just depends on the size of the facility and how many rooms they have available and how busy they are.
Yeah, the need.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's an excellent resource. In addition to, there's many other resources that we can throw in there, but I guess it kind of folds into the insurance stuff, because if you can get resources like this that are going to ease the financial burden, then that, of course, can help us be more well, because it's one less thing we have to worry about as far as bills go for our little champions.
Some of the McDonald houses, I don't know which ones, but like this one here, they have some transportation services. They even have a handicap accessible van that they can run shuttles to and from the hospital here in Salt Lake City. The only stipulation that I know of, and it may be different based on where you live, is that your primary residence has to be greater than 60 miles away from the hospital. That's like the rule for the Salt Lake one, is if you live more than 60 miles away, you're eligible to stay. If you're within that, they save it for people who are further away.
Well, they also have Ronald McDonald type rooms
in the hospital. Yeah.
And I don't know what the stipulation for those are per se.
I do know that you can't have a room at the house and stay there in the hospital. It's one or the other.
Yeah. You can stay at bedside in the NICU there, but not have a Ronald McDonald room over there at the hospital. And those are pretty nice. They're basically just a bed where you can get some good sleep.
It's a sleep room.
Yeah, a sleep room. And the other thing I wanted to comment on about this particular Ronald McDonald House is I really appreciate all the programs that they have. So they have arts and crafts nights for the kids and families. They have more recently our stay here, and it might have been here before, but I'm not sure. There's a yoga room, like a wellness room, a yoga meditation room, and another one next to the yoga room. Oh, you need a suction. Next to the yoga room is like a toy closet where they have a bunch of toys for the kids. So if they're having a rough day, or, if they're needing medication or after a treatment, there's a lot of kiddos here that have like cancer. So it's really important, if you do get a room, to make sure you're well, and they'll screen you for all of that, but make sure you're not feeling ill or whatever, because a lot of the kids here, including Koa, have compromised immune systems, as those of us who are medical parents know, but in case anybody who stumbles upon it that's not a medical parent, if our kids get sick, oftentimes that results in a hospital stay, and in some cases even death. So anyway, guys, Ronald McDonald House.
Yeah, look it up.
Look it up.
Find your local chapter or branch.
Yeah, talk to your social worker at your local hospitals if you're getting ready to deliver and you're going to be hospitalized, or the baby will be. And this will fold into the Medicaid talks that we're going to have in our next episode. So we're going to share more about Medicaid, the different types of Medicaid, in our next episode. Until then, I'm Amber.
And I'm Parker.
This is Coffee and Courage. We're so glad you're here.
Get out of there.
And we hope you found this helpful. If anybody wants to comment about their state's Ronald McDonald House in this thread, just to spread some awareness and what the processes might look like in other states, that would be super helpful for anybody who stumbles upon this. Share. Knowledge is power. So the more we know and the more we can share, the better.